Scottish Mudlarking here with Nicole and Craig. Storm Darragh has been bashing the UK over the last weekend. Now this is the 4th storm of the season. That's nearly 1 storm every week. It's been a really ferocious storm with winds up to 80 miles an hour. So I'm sure Darragh has been digging up a ton of treasures. Let's get down to the beach to see what we can find.
You can really see the amount of sand that's piled up here. I hope you can see that. There's a real slope here on the beach today, and it certainly looks like all that. I think, when was the last time we saw those rocks over there? It must have been when we found that Capston's inkwell several years ago.
Yeah.
So that's the effect there of Storm Darragh. It's really chewed up and deposited a huge amount of sand. So there's a huge amount of sand being deposited up here, and so much stuff uncovered. Just check it out.
Yeah, there's loads here. Okay, I'm so excited.
Really interesting, really super chunky piece of glass there. What's that?
Yeah, what's that? It looks like, oh, that's actually, I'm really not sure. It's really chunky, look. And there's a couple of lines here. And there's
a hole.
Yeah, there's an intriguing hole in there. Okay, that's almost the size of an ice cube. Shall we take that as a first find?
We should definitely grab that because it's just really interesting beyond anything else. Now, what else do we have here? We have the, it's the kiln furniture, and we're always finding kiln furniture here.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to leave the kiln furniture. Now, what specifically are you think we're looking for? Let's grab that wee bit.
Well, so clearly I'm looking for a little bottleneck.
Pirate glass.
Oh, it kind of looks a bit like it, right? It's still wet, but it's got a really funny, awkward shape. And that's what we usually say, that's for pirate glass. Yeah, that's definitely pirate glass. We can't really hold it up against the light. There's no sunlight today.
No, despite the fact that we were promised clear skies, I shall swing up towards the sky and you can see what we've got instead. Beautiful clouds. Yeah, it is gorgeous actually. It is a beautiful day. It's really fresh, it's crisp, it's chilly. But we do have these clouds. We don't have the clear blue skies that we were promised.
Yeah.
Now lots and lots of kiln furniture here. You can see another one just down there. So a wee nugget of glass there. I don't know if you're interested in that.
Yeah.
Another nugget of that's not a nugget, that's a bottom. Definitely not a nugget.
Yeah.
There's a wee handle. You know, I wonder, I should maybe try and compile all the bottoms and see which is the most bottom silly one over the year. Could do a competition. We could do an annual competition. Sorry, I'm slightly not talking about what Nicole's got in her hand there. That's a handle from what, a teapot, you reckon?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. It's really smooth. Actually, it looks more like it's a neck of a bottle.
Oh right.
Looking in here, there's a little bit of kind of,
there.
yeah, like thread. So that might have been like a big stopper in there. It's really smooth. Not really what I'm looking for. You asked me what I'm looking for, and I'm thinking just a couple of special pieces that I can turn into jewellery for our Etsy shop. So, well, maybe we can find a bit of red.
Can you see a special piece?
I can see one piece, yeah, unless it's a
I don't think it's shell.
No, it
that's
looks
not
a bit
shell,
like
but
it's
it could be
metal.
plastic.
Oh, I think it's maybe metal.
Alright.
Oh yeah, it's metal. That's interesting. It's actually
Not
quite
what we're
nice.
after, but you know.
I'll take it off the beach.
Now you were saying a piece of red, what piece of red?
Yeah, why not?
And what's that? That looks like one of these little, I don't think it's a stopper, but do you think it's one of the perfume dabs or a swizzle stick for a cocktail or so?
Let's take a closer look at it. Oh no, I think it's a bottle lip.
Yeah?
Yeah, just...
Or a glass key.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? A glass key, it's got the teeth there for the key.
Yeah,
See that?
yeah, it's really smooth, really nice. I kind of just want to hold it in my hand and play with it. So let's see. Yeah, so a piece of red, maybe a nice piece of blue. I was quite partial to a really nice piece of pottery with a pattern on it. So kind of hoping that we're going to be lucky.
That's a really gorgeous shade of green.
Oh, yeah, it is. And it's very smooth as well. Really nicely frosted overall.
It's no
Very
red.
thick. No, it's very thick as well. Okay, well, I think I'm going to take that. Maybe I'll make a green pendant, seeing that it's nearly Christmas.
There's a piece here. I don't think it is. I'm not sure. I don't think that's going to be UV. It's got a slightly sickly green tint to it, but I don't think it's sickly enough. But that over there, that's a really beautiful piece of green.
Yeah, it looks like it may have a letter on it, maybe like a letter P or something.
I think it's a bottleneck.
Ah, maybe it is that,
That's
yeah.
the thread. It's an internal thread, which would suggest then that had a vulcanite stopper on it.
Yeah, it does. I think I saw something just sort of behind where you're sitting. It looks like there's maybe a piece of blue. I'm not sure. Can I still see it?
I see an interesting piece of white glass though.
This piece here, that looks like it's got a bit of lavender tinge.
It does, but it's got this. It's got markings on it as well. Can you see that? That's beautiful. It looks like a shell.
Yeah, that is really beautiful. Yeah, that's maybe from a little depression glass bowl or something like that.
Got to take that.
Yeah, I'm taking that.
Now that looks like a super duper rare find to me. What do you reckon?
Oh yeah, that is a pipe stem.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be anything on it. Pipe stems at the beach are usually really worn down and very smooth.
There's quite a big hole in that one though.
Yeah, it is. I could use that as a bead. Pipe stems make really nice jewellery. So I'm taking that.
Can you see the special piece?
Oh, I can see it.
I don't think that's just mock either. I think that's yellow. That's a piece of beautiful yellow glass.
Yeah, hopefully it is glass. I mean, it could be plastic.
Oh, I don't think so. I think there's a shine to it.
Yeah.
It's screaming glass to me.
Oh, maybe it's even UV. I mean, I usually test them, and if they're not UV, you don't see them glowing. But
Well, let's have that, and
Yeah.
we'll take a wee look at that in a minute in your hand. But until then, there was something else over here. Yeah, can you see it? I think it's actually, I thought it was a bead at first, but I think it's vitrolite now.
oh,
Can you
that
see
tiny
it?
piece.
Tiny wee
Yes.
piece of vitrolite
Oh,
tile.
yeah. Okay, that is a bit of a vitrolite tile from the 1920s. I'm going to take that as well. That'll be a gift.
That's a beautiful wee piece of sea folk though.
Oh, it really is. Yeah, that would be like. Well, I always see a piece of jewellery when I see these things. It's quite thick actually. Oh look! Oh, that's really quirky inside there. Can you see it? It's just, I think it's maybe a bottle, a side of a bottle. Very nice and smooth, but off to the right there. Look,
That's
something.
a piece of bonfire glass.
Yeah, we tend not to find that anymore. Used to find bonfire glass all the time, and now it's become a rare find for some reason. That's really nice. Look, as you can really see, it's been squished in a fire, and then well, it ended up in the sea, and now it's got that really intriguing organic texture.
You know, just taking a quick look along here, I can see there's tons of glass. There's really big chunky bit in there. Really nice piece of sea foam here. That looks like has the very beginnings of lavendering.
Oh yeah, it could be. I mean, it's nice to see it right next to the sea foam, and then you can always really see the difference in colour between either white or sea foam.
Lavender, seafood, lavender. Anyway, I don't know if you want to pick any of those up.
Yep.
There's a nice wee curved bit here. seafoam again.
Yeah, there are always lots of really lovely pieces of glass everywhere here, and lots of plain pottery. And I'm always so grateful, and we know that we're really, really blessed that we can go on a beach like this. It's not apricot.
You think that's apricot? I would have thought that was I would have said slightly lavender, but now that I've moved it, it does have a slight apricot tinge. Another piece of seafoam there. Let's grab these and we'll take a closer look at the colours we're getting. What I want to do is I want to get along this stretch quite quickly and see what we can scoop up. Then what we'll do is we'll maybe try and get down onto one of the other areas where a lot of bricks and the like have been turned up. And there's a bottom, it's a brown bottom, and there's a piece of the top of a bottle. There's another top of a bottle. I'm losing the words like bottle top. Easy words, folks. But you know, sometimes it's the cold eats away. Now, does that look like more bonfire glass to you?
It does indeed, yes. It's really squished, you know, like if you imagine glass is molten and you would just kind of squish it, and that's what it looks like.
So we should say by bonfire glass, what we mean is glass was thrown into fires along with lots of other rubbish, and the glass that was thrown in there, a lot of it melted, and that's how we get bonfire glass today. It's all part of the old Victorian waste disposal workings. Burn everything and then bury it or throw it in the sea. That was generally the modus operandi.
Oh look, there's a piece of milk glass in amongst the white pottery. It's relatively difficult to spot actually.
Do you know what I have seen though?
No.
Next to the milk glass, we just grabbed that bit of milk glass up. Very nice, very pretty piece of milk glass there. Just there, can you see what I'm looking at?
No.
There's a little stone there. I know that seems facetious of me to say that, but if you look down there, you can see that there's a stone that's covering something that you want to find. Can Nicole find a stone? This is like one of those find the hidden object in the picture thing. No, it's closer to you. You're cold. Warm, roasting, toasting.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, look how Christmassy. It's green and red, look. And it's a perfect size for a tiny wee pendant. Unless we find a second piece, which I doubt, that will match, and we can make a pair of earrings. That's really lovely.
Maybe burrow that around and see if there's anything on the other side of it. No, sadly no. We've got the good side there.
Yep.
Very cool. Let's
Perfect.
have that then. Now, there are some Christmassy looking pieces of sponge here, so maybe we'll find some of them. That one's got the right colours for them. Oh, Nicole's found something superbly good.
You can probably see it. I mean, that's really something that Storm Darragh will have churned up for us.
Yeah, this looks old. It looks like it was maybe a sweetie jar or something like that, but it is so heavily lavendered. Now, I know people who live in California and the likes would say that's not lavender, and that's because your glass gets purple because of the heavy sunlight. But here, that is quite stunning.
That's really nice. It looks, you know, it looks like an angel wing, doesn't it?
Well, that's the second piece we've found that have got really nice marked lines on them. But that is a really special piece.
Yeah, maybe I'll make everything angel themed.
I think we should swoop that one up. And then what I want to do is just go over there, hang about with the crows for a wee while, and we'll see what they're finding.
To the area that is just adjacent to the little burn. Now the burn has changed direction and it's been a little trickle for a long time, but today it looks like I don't want to cross it, especially so because I'm not wearing wellies today. So I'm gonna just be on the edge here, and I've said before that sometimes if you really listen closely to the burn, you can hear there's an almost kind of clink clunk noise, and that's all the pottery, and you can probably see it. There's lots of pottery here, and I'm not sure we can capture the noise, but I'm gonna try. Oh, okay, now here's gonna be something. Tell me if you can see it. It's really difficult to spot. Now there's a lot of sea coal in this area. I'm gonna give you a little hint. It's near there. Now can you see it? Tell me if you can see it. I'm gonna get a bit closer. Can you see it now? Okay. Look, it's a lovely vulcanite stopper, and it's right there. I'm gonna pick that one up. Super smooth. There must have been something on the top there. You can see just a tiny bit of a texture almost, but it's super smooth, and I'm just gonna pick that up. Now I've come along here, and you can probably see this is more the kind of the tide line area. There's loads of razor clamps here. So usually after storms we find lots of razor clamps, and they're very, very fragile, and I'm always tempted you could make something with them. But I found 3 treasures here in this little area. Now this, I'm not really sure if that's a treasure, but it's something, and I'm going to turn it over. Ooh! Oh, that's quite fascinating. I'm going to put that there. It looks, actually to me, it looks like there's lots of faces on it. I'm not sure you know what it is. It's quite thin, and Kirkcaldy was once the world famous producer of this material. And it's lino. It was just, it was made just down the road. There was a big factory there. And this is probably one piece of this lino. It's quite firm now. You can't really make jewellery with it. It could find its way into an artwork piece. It's definitely a little piece of history. So I'm going to take that. Can you see it? Looks like a face there. Like a slightly unhappy face. Now there's 2 other things here, and I know you've probably already seen one of the really, really cool pieces there. It's there. I'm going to take a closer look in a second. But there's also this piece here. And it looks like it's another bottle bottom. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Okay. Well, that's looks really nice. I was hoping that there might be a little bit of writing on it. So I'm just going to leave this here, and now we can take a closer look at this really, really amazing piece here. I'll put my wee piece of lino down here. Now look at that. Oh. Okay, what does it say? Loch Nagar, J&M, PB and CL, and it says Glasgow. I think we've actually found a piece of the Glasgow pottery here before. Look, that is really stunning. I'm going to turn it over. I don't know if anything's on the other side. Probably not. Nope, there's nothing on the other side. It's just a tiny, tiny bit of what might have been the pattern, but I think I don't usually do this with beach finds, but this I'm gonna have to cut out and make into a really lovely pendant, so that you'll probably just have this piece here, the maker's mark from the I think it's the bell pottery. That's why it has a bell there, and it's made from Glasgow. The Loch Nagar on the top, that's probably the name of the pattern. I'll try and find it online, and you'll see it inserted if I have found it. If not, then you won't see it. But this, that's gonna be a really, really lovely pendant, and I'm very happy with this. So yeah, thank you, Storm Darragh.
Now, well, Nicole's been having a wee look around. I had a wee look around myself, and I found one really cool thing. And I don't know how hard it's going to be to see with my grey gloves on, but there it is. Can you see it? It's a bottle top. It's the neck of a bottle. But I don't know if that was maybe, I found another couple of things as well. There's a couple of wee bits of ceramic in there and that beautiful wee piece of glass. But this, I think, is potentially my best find. I'm not sure if that's from, I don't think it's a ginger beer bottle. I'm tempted to say it was maybe an ink well or something like that. But it's very cool. It's really intact. You know what would be really cool is if you could cut this rim off and soften it all off and then make a clay ring out of that. But I don't think we're going to do that. I'm not even sure we're going to keep that. But for the minute I'm going to pocket it. I'm going to take a wee look along the burn here. Now Nicole's already went up one side of the burn, so I'm just going to take a wee look around here before I eventually try and get down there. You can see my pals, the crows, are hanging about there. There's a couple of other seabirds. I hope I can get down to the waves, but we might not be able to, because you can see the burn has somewhat expanded, and I don't know if that's entirely to do with Storm Darragh or exactly what it's to do with, but actually the physics, the landscape of this beach has changed quite dramatically over the last few weeks. Now this is a really interesting section of beach here actually. I hope you can see that. You've got lots of layers, so I'm guessing these layers aren't so much the kind that geologists would be interested in. They're more the kinds that you know, storms, various different storms have churned things up. But you can see here, we've got this huge layer, and that's just all coal dust. We've spoken about this before. I mean, there used to be coal mines all the way along the coast here. Not so much here, but there would have been a lot of coal shipped through here because of the potteries. So the Methven pottery was the big one that Nicole's often mentioning, and that produced the sponge ware and the transfer ware and all sorts of other things as well. But in this lot here, you know, if we were to take a wee bit of time and a wee trial, I think this would be an incredibly interesting place to have a little poke around in. But this that you can see here was not here until just I think it wasn't here a couple of weeks ago, let's say that. But it is here now. Wow, check that out. There's a huge piece of glass. I don't know if that's some kind of handle or quite what that is, but that was just sitting down there. There's got to be all sorts of treasures. It's just such a chunky piece of glass. It was obviously a large decorative piece that came from. But yeah, this heap that we're seeing here, that wasn't here a week or two ago. We've been down here quite recently, and this is new. So I don't think all of this has been put here by Storm Darragh, but certainly some of it has. Now, I'm just thinking I could have a wee dig in here, but if I have a dig in here, it should be pretty obvious what's going to happen, right? The whole thing is just going to come tumbling down, and I might not get buried in sand, but I'll certainly get pushed into that burn, and I don't much fancy that. Anyone who saw last week's video would have seen that I got a wee bit of a soaking. A wee bit of soaking with a wave we were at. It was high tide, and we went over to Leven, and yeah, I managed to catch a wave which went right up the back of my jacket, and it filled my boots. My boots have only just dried out after an entire week, and so the last thing I need right now is to end up back in the water. Now I'm picking little bits out of here. You can see there I've got what would have been, I think, maybe the bottom of a teapot, maybe a plate, and another piece of kiln furniture. Now this is really eroded, this one. It's been really worn down. I'm going to leave this, pop it back there, but I'll hang on to this in the meantime. There's wee pieces of glass in here, and I'm just going to grab these and maybe take, actually that doesn't look like glass at all, that might be crystal. I'll leave that. What's this? Oh, what was that? Is that bone? It might be a coral or something, I'm not sure. Take it along for the minute. But it's just really, really interesting. Look at all the layers that have piled up here. Now there's glass in here, there's pottery in here, kiln stilts in here, there's all sorts. Lots of shells obviously as well, lots of stones. It'd be nice to find a really special piece of glass in here, but I'm not sure. Look at that. Now that would have been a piece of a window, I guess. It's really thick. This is really cool. It's a different kind of beachcomb when you end up with something like this to work through. And obviously I'm not going to spend too long here because there's only so much that I can do in this area with this piled up sand. It's a little bit like climbing out of it as well once you start to get to this point. There's that. A wee piece, oh hang on, a wee piece of a plate down there, but there's nothing on that. I hope you can see the rim there where the plate would have sat down. We shall leave this again, pop it back in here, maybe come back in a couple of years, it'll still be there. Check that out. Can you see it? It's a really huge piece of kiln furniture. It's one of these Thor's hammers, as I like to call them. You can tap away at things here. Do you know what's going to happen? I'm going to tap away at the wrong thing and lots. Oh, what's that? Oh! No, I wonder. I don't need this. I'm going to discard that. I wonder what this could have been. Could it have been a pole? AKA a gazunda? AKA a bedpan? Or something like that? Maybe. But it could have equally been a decorative vase of some sort. You don't want to get them mixed up though. A really lovely piece of green glass down there that I'm going to take. Now, I'm kind of tempted to kind of give this a kick and see what falls out, or maybe just a poke. Oh, not much. I was a wee bit cautious of standing on this when I was above it, to be honest, because I thought, you know, it's another bit of what looks like that. I wonder if those are part of the same thing. Probably not. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted myself. When I was standing up here a little earlier on, I thought if I stand too close to the edge here, the whole lot is just going to fall in. I might have been surrounded in cool finds, but I might also have ended up paddling my way out through this burn. Now, if we'd had wellies, I think I would have wanted to get over there today. You can see there's a huge amount of debris strewn across that. Now, we've seen a couple of other people here, so my guess is that there's probably not that much there. But one of the things that I just want to point out whilst I am standing here is, can you see that ridge there? And can you see these areas that have been all dug out over there? You can see more coal dust in that one, a seam of it next to these large, I guess they're coastal defences, these blocks. None of this was here. This was a flat beach a couple of weeks ago. So I reckon a lot of this has to do with Storm Darragh. You can see down there, way past Nicole, that the waves are still really high, they're really strong, and they're battering into the shore. So I wouldn't have wanted to have been down here during Storm Darragh, but it's also amazing to see what kind of impact it's had on this beach. Hello! How have you been doing?
lovely pottery. Now I'll show you this one, or well, I'll dig them out of my pocket first.
So I've just come back along from this little valley that's been cut, and I reckon, you know, a lot of that was cut by Darragh. Now I don't know if you've also looked over here. We can't see it quite as clearly just now, but you see, it's just, this used to be flat. And now everything's been dug up. Now I'm going to hand you a couple of things that are disinteresting, so maybe you want to hide your good finds first. This is what I've found just wandering around up there.
Okay, so you found quite a lot of different types of kiln furniture, from a tiny Thor's hammer to a very large Thor's hammer. And for a second there, I thought you'd found a frozen charlotte or something.
Well, I'm not sure what that is. I think it might be bone. I'm not entirely sure. It could be a piece of really corroded pottery though. What do you reckon?
Well, yeah, it does actually have a lot of texture, more like bone, like you say. It's quite... yeah, it's a little lighter than the pottery, so it might be bone. We'll have to have a look at it. And then you found a white piece and a green piece of sea glass, and a huge piece that you can't find.
Yeah, I'm going to find that later. Oh look, the crows are fighting. I just managed to catch that on camera. We're back to Beastie Watch. No, sea glass. Anyway, I think the green piece is possibly the nicest piece, but maybe look at these and show me what treasures you have been finding here at the mouth of the burn.
Right, I'll set that up on my hand here. I found 3 really nice pieces. Well, 2 that I think I can use in jewellery making. And that's a piece of this lovely piece of transferware. And it looks like it's
sorry,
almost...
the crows are fighting again. Sorry, it was like...
Beastie Watch!
No, sorry. Anyway, back to this. One day I'm just gonna make a film about crows.
Yeah, maybe. And you need to feed them more of your sandwich. Okay, so I found this piece, and that looks like it's got really lovely fish scales on it, and maybe a little bit of wave.
Oh, it really does, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I think that's a really, really pretty piece. And then oddly, I found this piece, and that also looks like it's got a wave. So, you know, we found 2 pieces churned up by Storm Darragh out of the waves onto my hand that I'm really happy about. And this large
piece...
piece...
they didn't wash up onto Nicole's hand. Nicole's put them there after finding them, just being pedantic for humorous effect.
Yeah, and then I found this a bottom of a teapot.
It's a bottom.
Yeah, I really love these because you can just put little treasures in them and put them on your desk. And then this very, very large piece of spongeware, and that's probably a bit too large for a pendant.
Okay, guess what I found?
I don't know.
The big bit of glass.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay, I'm going to put that there then.
Oh look, it's like a swan, like a beautiful swan. Do you know where I found that?
No.
That was basically sitting in the wall of the valley. I'm going to call it the valley. Oh, there's a crow now.
Yeah.
Hello, crow. Yeah, it was basically sitting right in the wall of that.
Okay, and do you have an inkling of what it might be?
I think it's been maybe a handle or a decorative feature on a rather large thing.
Yeah, it might have been, yeah, like a foot of a sweetie bowl, and it might have been attached here where that flat piece is, and this might have been the foot coming down. Or it could also be a very large handle, a glass handle, maybe from a picture.
Yeah. Now I have an extra couple of things to show you. I'm going to drop them in your hand.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to try and get down to the water's edge to see if I can get some nice shots of the sea. Now there's another piece I can feel that's floating in my hand, and I know what in my pocket, and I know what it is. It's blue.
Aww.
The only piece of blue glass I found today, and it's kind of tiny.
Yeah, I've not found any blue today. That's really strange. But what you also found is this piece, and I think that is the 1000 pattern that the Methven pottery made. It's a really, really pretty pattern, and it's very dark blue, and it's got lots of kind of swirly ornate lines.
I think that was my favourite piece. It's kind of, I think it's because the pattern has kind of bled through, or it's filled in somehow, but it looks kind of dark. It's quite It's just really beautiful pattern, I think, and
Yeah.
really nicely coloured pottery.
Yeah, it is a really, really lovely pattern, and I also love this piece here because it's a really nicely worn kind of bottleneck, and we tend not to find the pottery ones so
No,
often.
we don't.
And that one is a really pretty one. It could almost be a very large ring, but I think
That's what I thought as well. I thought if we could cut this off somehow and smooth it out, but it's maybe a wee bit ambitious, particularly now that I see that there's a very large crack here. So I don't think that would survive.
Yeah. That reminds me, I found another piece.
Oh, the pieces keep coming.
Yeah, it's somewhere in my pocket. Oh, where is it though?
I'm going to turn the camera to the sea whilst Nicole searches through her pockets, and we'll maybe take just a couple of minutes to have a wee look over beside the bricks after we've seen what Nicole's found, and then we'll maybe just get away home. But look at that gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous wee piece of bottleneck just lying here. Just as I'm walking towards the waves, I'm gifted. It's as if my appreciation for the sea is being gifted. Look at that.
Oh, how cute! A little blue bottleneck.
It's a bottleneck.
From a Victorian, maybe almost like a poison bottle, a light coloured poison bottle.
It's a bottle, and I'm going to say that I think it had something in it. Lovely.
Well, we've had a really fantastic time here after Storm Darragh, and I think my favourite find is probably this. I think somebody else is taking centre stage here, and that would be the birds. Well, we've had a really fantastic time here after Storm Darragh, and I think my favourite find is probably this amazing piece with the maker's mark of the bell pottery in Glasgow. What is your favourite find? Let us know in the comments. Now, it only remains for me to say thank you so much for watching, liking and commenting. If you haven't subscribed yet, please take a minute to subscribe. An extra special thanks goes out to everybody who's been supporting the channel, Etsy and through your coffee donations. That makes a massive difference and it keeps the lights on. See you next week!